Hello people of the world and welcome to today's episode of Coffee Chats with Jax. Today's video is pretty special because it is one of my first video requests from someone who is one of my Patreon family members. One of the perks of being in my Patreon family is that you get the opportunity to share whatever you want with me in a personal email and then ask me to make a video for you in a response to that, whether that is a video sent directly to you or a video a little bit broadening the topic on my actual page. Basically what I got from this person's story is the issue of fitting in, really, when there's like something different about you, how it's hard to kind of go out in public and make friends and be yourself and kind of own who you are when there's something different about you than everybody else and you feel like that's all that they can see is what's different about you. And I can hardcore relate to that issue because if you guys have been following me for any amount of time, you'll know that I was basically living at Harvard for about 3 months. I did not go to college. I went for 1 semester to college, hated every little bit of it, didn't like it, ended up quitting the dorms, packing up my car, and moving to California to be a dolphin trainer. Let me clarify, I didn't actually go to Harvard, I just moved right next to Harvard. And so everyone that I was communicating with, in relationship with there, 90% of them went to Harvard, and 90% of the time I was in like a Harvard building or something to do with that. And first of all, before I say anything else, I would like to say that I have mad respect for anybody who goes to that school. You guys work really, really hard, and you are so dedicated, and you are gonna change the world someday, and I think that that's amazing and inspiring. But me walking into that environment was so hard because I have never felt like I don't fit in more in my entire life. Like down to the conversations, the intellect, the vocabulary, and how everything was just so not how I was used to doing it. Like I was used to living in like Nashville, Los Angeles, where it's just very entertainment based, very like people are trying to make it in music and writing and acting. And so going from that and having no college experience whatsoever to stepping in and basically every day being involved in something about Harvard, first of all, never thought that was gonna be a part of my life ever. But second of all, I was extremely insecure. Like walking around, I felt like I stood out like a sore thumb. The way I dressed was different, the way I talked was different. At least I think. I mean, for all I know, it was fine. No one knew. I mean, I carried around a big backpack like everybody else. For the first 2 months of this, I was so hard examining myself and the way that I would talk and the way that I would act and the conversations that I would have. And I would be so scared to kind of like speak up in certain conversations intellectually because I didn't think that I was good enough for it. I felt like a complete outsider. And it's nothing that these people did wrong. It was all me. It was all my own insecurities making me feel like I was an idiot and I was not good enough. And because there was something different about me than about them, I thought that that's all they could see. I kept telling everybody, well, I don't go here because I wanted people to know that so that they didn't expect much from me in like the intellectual world, but I felt like I might as well have just had it written on my forehead. It was hard, and so I slowly kept trying to change little things about myself. I tried to broaden my vocabulary, which is cool anyway. So I would like be sitting in conversations and like secretly Googling words on my phone just so I had like an idea of what they were talking about so that maybe if it was my opportunity to talk, I could say something kind of relevant. I started to try to blend in, but then I ended up having coffee with a friend who wasn't from there, and I met her at Harvard. She didn't go to Harvard, but she like worked around it or something, and she started telling me how refreshing it was that I was so different. Apparently me trying to blend in didn't really work out very well. I was still Jackie G at Harvard. I thought that was a bad thing, but what she was telling me was that that was actually an incredible thing. She was telling me that my differences brought so much to that environment, that who I am brought her so much, the people around so much, and I just wanted to cry. She was like, everyone's acting as normal, everything's going about their day, then all of a sudden, here comes Jackie, like, hey, I'm Jackie, I love dolphins, wanna be friends? Let's get coffee. It was in that moment that I realized that like, actually, I think I have a lot to add to this environment, just like this environment has a lot to add to me. I have my own gifts, I have my own things that I'm good at that I can't just ignore because I'm trying to blend into an environment that isn't like me. And it's a beautiful thing. I loved my time there. It was so cool. I met so many awesome people, I learned so many cool things, but me being super insecure because I didn't feel good enough, it wasn't okay. And so after this conversation with my friend, I like felt like I could put my Jackie G shoes back on, and I went out there and I started owning it when I didn't know a word in conversation. I would straight up ask and be like, well, what does that word mean? And then I would laugh about it, and then I would learn a new thing. So instead of pretending like I was just there and knew everything and was fine, I actually got to learn by asking questions. During some of my last days there, I felt more confident in who I was, whether or not I stuck out or not. And so at the end of the day, like, moral of this story is that My differences are what made the story beautiful. We're supposed to stand out. If you have something about you that is different than everyone else and it makes you feel insecure, look at what that difference is and actually think of what that can add to an environment, what that can add to a group of people. Know that you were made the way you were made on purpose. It was intentional. I have the gifts that I have just like someone else has the gifts that they have, and where I'm weak, someone else is strong. Where someone else is weak, maybe I'm strong, and that's community, and that's what we're supposed to do this life together. So I learned so much from that one conversation with that friend. Thank you. If you're watching this video, you know who you are. Moral of this story is that whatever differences that you feel like you have, whatever you feel like people see first before they see anything else, know that that's beautiful. That when people stand out, it's for a reason. It's meant for something greater. I don't think people who are going to change the world are supposed to blend in. I think we're all supposed to figure out what our gifts are, what we're good at, and own that. If you want to put in a video request, if there's something that you want me to talk about, you want me to share my own personal experience with, check out my Patreon page. That's where you can learn how to get involved in that and have the opportunity to do that. I love making these videos so much. So the opportunity to relate more with you guys and connect more about what it is that you actually want me to be talking about. Because I can make videos all day about my own stories and my own stuff, but the point of this is to be a conversation, and I want to be a voice for more than just myself. I want to be a voice for everybody. I want to talk about the things that matter, because real conversation, real friendship, that is what's going to nudge the world, and I want to be a part of that. So link to my Patreon in the description below. Also, you guys, I'm so excited because I just opened up my first online store where I'm selling mugs, hats. They're all themed Be Free after my book. So if you want to go buy one of those items, that would mean the world to me. That would support me like crazy. I am so excited about it. So check out my store. That link's in the description box below as well, along with a link to buy my actual book if you haven't done that. Sorry for all the plugs in this video, but that is all the stuff going on. I hope you had a great Christmas. I hope you have a good New Year's, and I will talk to you soon. Love you guys.